welcome to Hard Way Learning, where we look stupid so you don't have to. Today we are working on the 2022 Subaru WRX, VB WRX. And if you haven't seen already, we've installed some lowering springs. Car has always kind of been fairly harsh on like low speed, rapid bumps. It's just like really stiff and bouncy, and lowering it probably didn't help. Although honestly, I think it was a slightly softer spring rate and rode a little better than stock. But it's still not good enough. It is not good enough. So today we have a set of Ohlins from Germany put on there because we put those on the S2000 link in description, and that has got to be some of the best riding coilovers we have ever experienced, right, Dan?
Yeah. Öhlins is Swedish, by the way.
Swedish.
That's why they're on Volvos.
They're Swedish fish. So we're gonna unbox these. Look at how nicely wrapped they come. They come in a box, wrapped in bubble wrap. How cool is that? First order of business
Is use a 12mm socket to remove this bracket for the brake line. Then use your little delicate fingies and try and squeeze this enough to get it out of the way.
A hope and a prayer. We got a 17 on here. See if we can't yuck it off. We're gonna disconnect the old ABS harness here because the knuckle needs some extra space. 12mm. At least I think.
Close to a 12mm.
One.
Couple got a 19mm impacty and a 19mm box end.
That's my camber bolt that I just yeeted.
Oh, don't do that, everyone.
I also didn't look to see
Where it was.
There's a line, but that's probably where the stock setting was. 14mm. You're gonna want to support the strut from below. Very nice. Alright, we're accessing the rear shock towers. It's underneath here. There was some carpeting here that was velcroed to these little flap guys here. So you just lift that up and then it can come out. But these are 14s down here. Might have to use something else. So we got a 14 ratchety ratch down here. All you really gotta do is just pop it loose like that, and then you can just spin it off with your finger. So, no
Finger the dinger.
Alright, we got this adjustable control arm, so I'm trying not to mess with my eccentric. Should we mark that? We should probably. So we're going to see if we can get the shock up just by doing the inner control arm bolt along with the sway bar link. And then if we don't, we've got this marked so we kind of roughly know where to put it back, but we'll probably get in alignment after we get the height all adjusted.
Safety squints.
These are 17mm. 17mm.
The end link is 14mm. Boingo bongo. Pry bar.
Yeah. Alright, so we were got that off. This swings down, so no worries about adjusting our, Jesus, is that bushing shot? Yeah, the light. Huh. It's like it's a spherical or something. We just had to get a pry bar in here to get the old shockerino out. Now we gotta steal this hat, put it on the Öhlins.
Safety.
We steal this from that and put it on the Ohlins. We got an offset wrench, tighten that, and hold the stem. Jeepers criminy. It's probably a torque spec for that, you think, huh? 30 Newton meter. Yeah, why is it so... Am I using the wrong size? Alright, so here's the earth.
Okay.
We did some unit conversion because this is in German. Preload was set to, it's supposed to be 178 millimeters, and in Freedom units that is basically 7 inches on the nose. So it came in at 6 inches and 7/8. So we're gonna add an eighth, take away an eighth of preload. If you don't mind.
Get this thing corner balanced.
It'll be 1/10 faster getting groceries.
Do you want to corner balance it with the groceries in the car to account for that?
Yeah, probably. This is precision preload adjustments right here.
And again, as a reminder, it wasn't German, it was Swedish. Because these are not Bilsteins.
Swedes are cool. Comment below if you like Swedes. It was 7008, right? Alright, this looks like 6998. I mean, that's like right on the money right there. Oh, it turned on me. Alright, so it does come with some assembly instructions. One thing to note though, you will need rear hats, so maybe you just buy a fresh set if your car is higher miles. Mine are probably fine even though they look a little rusty. We're only at 30,000 miles, but might be best to pull the shocks out so that you don't have a bunch of loose parts midway through rear assembly. But we're gonna go with 10 clicks, so tighten it all the way up. There's like a half turn. It doesn't make it all the way to a click, so you back off one, and then that should be 0, I think. And then 10 clicks off of that is middle of the road. There should be about 20 clicks.
Spin that bad boy on. Give her a tighten with the crescent.
That's really all you need. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So you want to make sure you use the proper upper spring seat for the front versus the rear shock. You don't accidentally put the front spring seat.
Is it like a 5
on the rear
1/2
shock.
or something up here? Smaller diameter one and also thicker goes in the rear. There's 2 adjustments that you need to make once you have this fully assembled. There's preload, which is basically the spring length from this surface to the surface between this outer lock nut or larger diameter lock nut and the plastic washer. I don't have a caliper large enough to measure this, but it's supposed to be 175 millimeters, and basically that's like just a little bit past 6 inches and 15/16, so I'm just a smidge past that. Once you have your preload set on the spring, your ride height adjustment is basically this whole assembly sliding in and out of this sleeve basically. So this is a lock nut here, and they tell you to set the distance between the bottom lock nut and the top lock nut to 30.5 millimeters for the front. In the rear, your preload is 178 millimeters, or basically 7 inches. Ride height distance between those washers, 14 millimeters. And that's all in the book. There's diagrams for it if you don't understand. So that X is your ride height, and you have to set preload first because it's referenced on where that nut is. They kind of stack their distances.
We are jumping ahead.
All right, so we got what I did with the front was you can adjust the compression and rebound with a little knob under here. And then there's this extra bracket here for our ABS. Little 10 millimeter guy here goes on like that. Tighten that guy on, put that in there. And then I'm guessing there's like a nut and a bolt combo for this because this does not look threaded. So we'll find that later. But 114 foot-pounds, 15 foot-pounds. Sway bar link is 28 foot-pounds. We'll just, we'll throw it all in the description.